Yes, ma'am, you can carry on now.
Okay. So, what is art therapy? Like I asked you, art therapy is an established mental health profession that uses the creative process of making art to improve and enhance physical, mental, and emotional well being of people at all ages. So, it's not just for children or adults, it is for all ages. Anybody who understands, who can draw, who understands your directions. Now, is it clear? Now is my voice clear?
Yes, ma'am, your voice is clear.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
So, art therapy is a process. It's a established mental health profession, which was basically named in mid 20th century. I always say when words are not enough, you draw. Right? There are times when you do not understand what to say, because you don't understand what you're feeling. And when you don't have words, you can draw. Somebody, even if you look at yourself, when you are in anger, what you will do, whenever, even if you're writing anything or if you're just holding a pencil or a pen, you will start scribbling on the paper and you will feel the pressure on the paper from the back side. It is more. If it is more, that means you're going through some anxiety, some kind of an anger. So the way you hold your pencil or the way you touch your pencil to the paper also shows what you're feeling, right? So every little line that you draw, every word that you would say out will come under art therapy. And when words are not enough, you start drawing. For this workshop, it is more on the drawing side instead of, we're not talking about the poems or drama or anything else. We are more focused on the drawing, the paper and you, or the canvas and you, right? That connection. So it is basically a creative process in which you're healing yourself. You're letting go of whatever feelings you have, whatever emotions you're feeling, and you just let go of that, and then you and that process is basically healing, not the end result, right? Okay, so art therapy can be divided into three parts: art as an assessment tool, art as a therapeutic tool, and art as a therapeutic activity. Till now, whatever answers that you gave me were about healing yourself, right? You would do order, or every, whatever you're going through has a different test that an art therapist would do. So they will ask you to draw something and then analyze that drawing to tell you what the problem is. Just like the doctor who has given you the blood test will then tell you to take antibiotic for 5 days. Just like that, as an art therapist, we would tell the client to do certain activities. For me, as a color therapy practitioner, I treat my patients through colors and through patterns. So if somebody is not well, wherever I feel, I will give them certain colors to use or certain patterns to work on, right? And then comes the therapeutic activity, which is the Panadol ki goli, that the doctor will tell you, okay, whenever you feel a headache, you can have Panadol and you don't need to come back to the doctor. So it's the same way we have therapeutic activities that we tell the client that you can practice these at home. You don't need to come to us again unless there is a need, right? So just like that, the pre-printed coloring books are available in the market. You can use them, and instantly you will see the stress coming down.
No, ma'am, you are audible to all of us.
Okay, thank you. Next is the difference between art therapy and art class. This is a very big misconception that people have, which is, can I'm not an artist or I can't draw, I'm not good at drawing, so I can't go to an art therapist. No, you do not need to be an artist. You do not need to know how to or have a very good background in art. No, anybody who is willing to heal themselves can come to an art therapist, right? You don't need to be a doctor to go to a doctor, right? So just the same way, you don't need to be an artist or have an art background to come to an art therapist. So, the difference between art therapy and art class is, there is an art teacher. Whereas in art therapy, there is a trained therapist, not just an artist, but also has psychology background. So if they feel that you're going through some sort of distress during that activity, they can cater that also, right? Unlike an art teacher, there is a therapeutic relationship where there is understanding, a good rapport building, unlike an art class where you're being graded for your drawing. Here, we don't do any judgment. There are no rules. If you want to draw the sky red, you can do that. Whereas in art class, if you do it red, you will not get the grades, right? So it is more treatment focused, whereas that art class is more learning focused, right? They teach you the techniques to draw. Whereas in art therapy, you draw what you feel like. The things that are common between both are that you would enjoy the art, the making of art, the process of making art. You can use various materials, and at the end, it's how you feel, how accomplished or how successful you feel by finishing up your artwork. So this is what is the difference and similarity between the art therapy and art class. Before we move forward, I would like you to look at this mood meter on the screen and tell me how you're feeling. Maybe you can just type it down on the chat box, or if you have a paper with you, just write it down. From 0 to 10, how do you feel? And which zone do you think you are? Blue, green, red, yellow, which zone? How do you feel um, your mood is right now? You can type it down, you can write it down, you can unmute and tell. Feels like I'm just talking to the screen and nobody is answering, or like, okay, green zone. And Arti,
Ma'am,
where do you think you are
I'm
on the meter, 0 to 10?
ma'am, I'm in the yellow zone.
In this yellow zone. Okay. As of now, 0. All right. So that's the best on the mood meter. Right. Okay, yellow zone, green zone. All right. And how about on the mood meters? Where do you see yourself? 0 to 10, everyone? Green zone, yellow zone. All right.
5,
0. Good. You, 2, 3.
5.
All right. That's nice. 4. Okay. 4. All right. Okay. So now what I want, 2, 2, 5. All right. So I want you to write this down on a piece of paper, okay? And of course, one more thing that I want you to do is, because it's an art therapy class and it's more practical based, so I would request you all to take a minute and get a white paper and keep it with you. Any basic stationery that you have, color pencil, pen, if nothing else, just a pen and a paper would also work. Anything that you have, just keep it with you. And how about I ask you all to um, introduce yourself? Can you move on to the next slide, please? Okay. Anybody who would like to unmute and introduce themselves? Next slide. Introduce. It's the next slide, please. Yes. So anybody who would like to unmute and introduce themselves? Irina and Aarti, आप लोग भी कर लो बेशक.
Okay, ma'am. So thank you so much for giving me an opportunity for my self introduction. I'm Areem Zahra, and recently I have completed my bachelor's in human resource management from Indus University, and I'm also pursuing a Reiki master level from my well known
Mashallah, it's
Yes,
a
ma'am.
very good introduction. Okay, anybody
And
else?
I'm very excited.
Anybody else?
Assalamu alaikum, ma'am. As related to psychology, and my next part is just I want to do MSc in clinical psychology.
Mashallah, very good. Okay, okay, now coming back to the point. This was your introduction. Thank you very much for introducing yourself, but this is not what I was looking for. This is what you are doing professionally, or this is something that you have studied, this is your occupation, this is not who you are. I wanted you to introduce yourself. Who are you? Not what you studied, not what you are doing right now. Who are you as a person? If I ask
Assalamualaikum,
you,
sir. Can I say something?
yes, please.
My name is Ikrashra and as जैसे आपने क्वेश्चन किया है उस क्वेश्चन के अकॉर्डिंग मैं ये जनरली कि आप अपने बारे में बताओ जिसमें इंक्लूडिंग आपकी एजुकेशन और जो आप अपना प्रोग्रामिंग कर रहे हो वो ऐड ना करो तो मैं
Fine.
अगर मैं इसका ये सिंपली आंसर करूं कि आई एम ह्यूमन बीइंग यानी कि लाइक किसी बात को अच्छे तरीके से समझना और मैं वो चीज़ें या इस तरह की चीज़ें ये
A good listener. You are somebody who has good understanding. Like you just got an answer, Mona Mansoor, I'm a Muslim, right? See,
थैंक यू
you're a word person.
थैंक
This is something that I was looking for in you. You know, on your paper, you can see this flower on the screen, right? I want you to draw a similar flower, but the number of petals will be the number of alphabets in your name. Okay? So, and in the center of the flower, I want you to write I am. And then every alphabet of your name in one petal. And starting from that letter, I want you to write a positive word, a positive adjective that you are. Okay, so suppose Shafaq. From S, I would write um, switch them sensible maybe, okay. Or with A I can write artistic. So anything that comes to your mind, sensitive, yes. So the flower, number of petals in the flower will be number of alphabets in your name. Okay. So something like this, okay. So I have a flower, and then I have my alphabets. Okay, so you don't understand. It's very simple task that you have to draw a flower with the number of petals as the number of alphabets in your name. After you draw that, just like this, you have to write I am in the middle. I am in the middle, and then
Ma'am, you mean the more alphabets any someone has in its name, the more petals would be there in the flower?
yes, the more alphabets, more petals. And then you can draw the
Ma'am, you went on silent because of unexpected issues. So
Can
kindly
you hear
repeat
me?
it.
Can
Yes,
you hear
now
me
you are
now?
audible.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am, you are
Okay, but
audible now.
very okay. So number of petals will depend on the number of alphabets in your name. Yes, just like Mona did. If you can see Mona's screen, so Mona, I want you to write I am in the middle of the flower. So that will introduce you as who you are. MONA. So M से क्या है? O से क्या है? N से क्या है? A से क्या है? That you
Okay.
have to write. So with your name, you can just use your name, and then whatever it is, whatever positive words that you can think of, you can write them. Sandrine said, sensitive, active, dashing, adorable, fearless person. Very nice. Uh, Sarah said, shy, ambitious, visible, active. Very nice. Okay. Sorry,
Ma'am, may I?
कुछ हो गया? जी, please.
Actually, ma'am, as you said that we have to draw a flower with the petals over there, and we have to write "I am" in between. So I have made with my name. It's like I am affectionate, friendly, sincere, helpful, adventurous, and nurturing.
Very nice. Do you think this question is for everyone? Okay. So do you think you have all these qualities in yourself?
Yes, ma'am. I have concluded based on my personality.
Very nice. Okay. Good. Introvert, not to free anyone in front of a person. Okay. All right. All right. Okay.
Ma'am,
Move
I've
on to the
also done with my
active
activity. Ma'am, can I show you my
Okay.
flower? It's very
Yes,
colorful.
yes, yes. You can. Yes,
Okay,
please.
ma'am. Mm. Oh.
Shafaq, can you please mute yourself because we are like.
Mm.
She's Ma'am Shafaq.
Yeah, how do I display the back video?
You can't see the slides?
Ma'am, how do I share my back video?
आप बस उठा के दिखा दो अपनी ड्राइंग
Okay.
को.
And here's the flower.
Okay, that's right.
Yes, ma'am. So can I repeat the words?
Yes, please repeat the words.
What I have written in the flower? Okay. So A stands for aligned, R stands for respectful, E stands for eco friendly, and other E stands for elegant, and N stands for nurturing. And I
Very
have
nice.
all of these.
Of mindfulness meditation as well as art therapy. What is mindfulness? I've often played these types of mind relaxing exercises with my kids. It's really fun and it's really helpful. It brings the person back in the present moment. Again, like mindfulness, it is a mindful activity. Grounding techniques are mindful activities. And mindfulness based art therapy क्या होती है, where you mix both of them. You mix the mindfulness meditation and art therapy together. Okay, so that is what a mindfulness based art therapy is. Can you move on to the next slide?
Ma'am, can you just elaborate it a little bit more with any relevant example?
I will
The
just
combination of them.
I will. We will just do something. We'll
Okay,
practice
okay,
something also.
okay. Thank you.
Another name of mindfulness based art therapy is focusing oriented art therapy, reflecting the emphasis on shifting focus as a part of the experience. Okay, so it is something that would help you focus and refocus. When I say refocus means maybe I'm saying something and then suddenly I would say something else. So you will have to refocus. You have to be very mindful. अगर आप अपनी सोच में चले गए, for instance, like even for a few seconds you stop listening to me and start doing something else, maybe you will miss something. So you will have to refocus on that, right? So it's basically shifting your focus and then refocus on the present moment. Combining mindfulness concepts with art therapy results in the therapeutic treatment known as mindfulness based art therapy. This treatment combines the philosophies of mindfulness within an art therapy setting. Art therapy setting is, where you're dealing with colors and shapes and paper and mediums like that, right? So, in other words, you're engaged in a creative process of making art as a way to explore yourself in a mindful manner, right? Um, Next slide, please. What happens in an art therapy, mindfulness based art therapy session is that you are offered guided meditation and mindfulness teaching. Again, guided meditation is focusing on your breath, listening to your heartbeat. Okay, so these are my guided meditations. And then anybody who would come up and say, I am an art therapist, you get a training for art therapy, you study art therapy, you are from the psychology background. In case agar the client is, if using certain color or certain shape triggers some kind of emotions in that, the art therapist will be able to stop that, understand those emotions, right? um, okay, so you are encouraged to be non-judgmental and kindly towards your own creation, so you don't have to be judge mental towards yourself, or if it's a group session, you don't have to be judgmental towards others. Be kind to yourself, be kind towards others. Making art is a direct embodiment and meaningful way to experience mindful qualities and the here and now of your experience. This includes the innate qualities of using art materials involving touching, movement, play, whichever supports the presence and awareness. All right. So I hope that is clear what mindfulness and yeah. Okay. Okay. So the next sorry, the next slide is ABC of mindfulness. Madiha, do you want to ask something?
Yes, I want to ask that some people do yoga, then in the what which category it falls, like meditation or as you said earlier?
Yoga is a meditation. Okay, it is a mindful meditation. अगर आप
Okay.
योगा को साथ प्रैक्टिस करो किसी किस्म का पेपर रिलेटेड आर्ट के साथ, तो आप उसको माइंडफुलनेस बेस्ड आर्ट थेरेपी में लेकर जा सकते हो. ओके.
Yes. Okay, thank you.
Okay. So ABC is a mindfulness drawing. ABC for mind. ABC is something that you can practice whenever you want. It doesn't have to be a art therapy session to practice ABC. Before doing anything, any big thing, जैसे मैंने grounding techniques I said, anybody can practice anytime. Again, ABC of being mindful can be practiced at any time. Anytime you want to feel mindful, anytime you have too much distraction, you can practice ABC. What does ABC stand for? A is adjusting. Okay. नहीं वापस A means adjustment. So instead of you moving the paper round and round around the table कि मेरे हाथ के साथ वो adjust हो जाए. How about moving your hand कि अच्छा मैं यहाँ से गोल घुमा के लाऊंगा तो हाथ adjust होगा. नहीं, why don't you move the paper and adjust? So adjustment to your surrounding. Sit if you want to sit. If you want to, if you feel more comfortable चौकड़ी मार के बैठने में, you can do that. So whatever way you are comfortable in that environment, you have to adjust according to that. B stands for breathing. We all breathe all the time. It's not that we cannot stop breathing. If we stop breathing, we're dead, right? But we don't focus on our breath. I've not seen anybody जो कहे कि हाँ मैं अभी focus कर रही हूँ सांस लेने पे. No, it's not that, because it's something that we're taken for granted, right? We're breathing. So focus on your breath. Before you start a new thing, just focus on your breath. Keep it calm, right? After that comes C. C means connection. How you connect. Gee, I know 14 minutes are left. I'll try to be quick. So C is connection. How well you connect yourself to the paper. So now the next slide, हालांकि ये इसकी मेरे पास अलग एक exercise थी, but I wanted now that because we have short in time, we will combine it with this. Okay. So what are emotions? What do you think emotions are? Anybody? What do you think emotions are?
Emotions are our feelings.
Okay. Anyone else? Feelings. And if I
Feelings,
say,
yes, our feelings.
okay, if I say emotions are not your feelings, feelings are different and emotions are different. Will you agree to that or not?
Emotions are the responses we get in back of our feelings.
Emotions
Ma'am,
are
emotions
responses
are
we get
responses.
from our feelings. This is what you said?
I said emotions are the responses that we get after our feeling. For example, sometimes we feel a movement, and then we feel after that movement we feel happy or the sad. It depends upon the movement or the people we are facing or we are fronting of that make our emotions.
Okay. Anybody else?
Ma'am, may I?
Yes, please.
Ma'am, emotions are expressive behaviors.
Right. Very right. Okay. So I will just clear this thing. Emotions originate as sensations in our body. Okay. So it has to have an external stimuli. कोई चीज हुई है तो आपकी कोई ट्रिगरिंग इवेंट है जिससे आपका इमोशन बिल्ट अप हुआ है whereas feelings start as emotions start as sensation in the body and feelings are generated from that sensation. Okay, so if आपने बिल्कुल थोड़ा सा उल्टा बोल दिया था उसको फीलिंग्स आपकी इमोशंस से जनरेट होती हैं वेरएज इमोशन जो है उसके लिए एक एक्सटर्नल इवेंट का एक्सटर्नल स्टिमुलाई का होना जरूरी है फीलिंग्स जो है यू कैन कॉल फीलिंग्स फॉर बोथ फिजिकल एंड इमोशनल स्टेट वेरएज इमोशन इज a thing that is that originates as sensations in your body. Okay, clear?
Ma'am,
So
we can say that are uh, emotions do influence our feelings.
yes, emotions influence our feelings, not feelings that influence our emotions. So, emotion ke liye there is an external stimuli, external event that happened that gave you that emotion, right? जिसकी वजह से there were certain sensations in our body which made some certain chemical was released in our brain जिसकी वजह से वो emotion हमने feel किया. Emotions are uh, short term, whereas feelings can be long term. Okay, feelings are the response of your emotion.